So when you found out that you were going to join the game late, how are you feeling about that?
So that was all, yeah, in real time. Janae and I had no idea we were joining late. We thought everyone had joined at that point. So that was all revealed to us to soak in, just like everyone else. Um, Initially, when they were joining the bus, I remember just like feeling, you could feel like there was, oh boy, like this eye's on us now. Like, are we targets? We were kind of joining, like, there was pros and cons to it, right? The pro was that we're closer to the end now without risking leaving the game. But the con is, I think, bigger. And that now we have a target on our back. People have already created alliances, teams. Like, do they want to work with us? Do they not trust us? So looked at both perspectives and just realized if we're gonna have a shot, we got to work with someone also kind of on the inside now that's been here for a little bit, and that's the whole kind of reason for really getting with Rick. Felt a little bit of intuition that he was a little ostracized for whatever reason at that point, and it really all worked out for us, I think.
Yeah, so you could tell he was kind of on the outs. Is that what made you lean towards him?
Yeah, it was I think initially I wanted to, like, I just felt something with Biggie, and I'd asked him a question. He responded in a way like he didn't want to wasn't really willing to share so much, which I got and I understood. But then that just kind of pivoted me towards Rick, and I paid more attention to him, and it just seemed like he really wasn't super close with any, like, with Shane and Biggie. Like, they were interacting with each other, so I felt there was an opportunity in there. And then just also just talking with a little bit and understanding this guy's pretty smart. He's got some knowledge, probably he's a little older, he's probably got some good experience, some wisdom and everything. So I think that makes sense as a safe bet to try to work with.
When you were able to make the tie-breaking decision in Salzburg, were you
Yeah.
considering anyone else or were you really focused on Mac?
No, I was going Shane the entire time. I think that was a moment of that was just you get that opportunity and you're just so filled with emotion. You want to just go that way and just not listen to your brain, just listen to kind of your heart. And it just, what have felt good. We're kind of beefing in that moment. So here, kind of get back at them kind of thing. And so initially I'm going, oh, it's a no-brainer. And then, like, a split second before it's about to come out of my mouth, something just like clicks. I'm like, wait a second. Like, you want to win this game. Who's the biggest threat in this game? Mac is going to win this game if we don't get her out right here. And I just realized that was the one opportunity I probably had. I switched to Mac. I know it shocked me. It shocked everyone, I'm sure, but I had to do it to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Wow.
Yeah, just, I mean, again, just respect to her, as she was the most well-traveled. I truly believe if I didn't do that, make that decision, she would have won the game.
hmm The challenge in the painted hall was, ooh, that was tense. That was a stressful
Yeah.
one. Were you getting nervous as you were getting moved back?
You have no idea. That was the most stressful period I think in a long time I've ever remembered. In the beginning, I kind of feeling good. I'm not feeling too nervous. I know it's a 2v1. Rick has proved that he's going to stick with me. And okay, we got 2v1, getting some questions right, missing some questions, but still kind of have some buffer with Biggie. And then it turns to where, because the placement, I'm the only one that can move, so Rick has to put me back, even though I'm answering correctly. And like, oh shit, this is gonna get taken away now. And then I get pulled to the very back, and I'm like, oh my God, I just went from feeling good to now it's all lying on one question. And then the question gets delivered, and I have no idea what the answer is. 27 just pops in my head for whatever reason. I say 27, pins and needles. Jeffrey says the answer is within one. I'm like, I still can't do the math because I'm just so adrenaline filled. And then he says it's me, and I just had the biggest relief. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I got through that. And it was a huge rush for sure.
Yeah. So 27 just came to you, right? Like you don't know the answer.
I have no idea what the answer is.
Right. Oh my gosh. I couldn't do the math either. I was like, I have no idea who has this. That was wild.
And then I hear Biggie, he goes first, he says 210, and then I immediately thought, oh, I'm out. Like, that's so far away from me. He must know something I don't. And I'm like, I'm so opposite of that. And then to be given a second chance, I'm like, wow, that was fortunate.
So this final challenge here, you're going around locations. Talk me through the thought process that led you to Tower of London.
So there's four clues actually that were given, not three that were shown on TV. And
Mhm.
the fourth one was a bunch of British coins. And so initially I see the picture of Queen Elizabeth, and so I see Queen Elizabeth, and then I see British coins, and so immediately and you're doing this in a timed environment, so you're rushing. You don't want to waste time because you don't know how quickly Rick did it. So those first two pictures don't lead me to Big Ben, right? I didn't know that was the tower was the Queen of Elizabeth Tower. I thought the whole thing was Big Ben. So immediately that's not in my mindset. Then I get to the hourglass, and that would have been something to lead, right? But I'm thinking, well, these riddles that I did earlier in the game, I wasn't 100% that I got all of them right. So I'm like, maybe this is the red herring. Maybe this hourglass has nothing to do with because there was two currencies, not just the $100 bill that we saw. And so I'm thinking maybe that's that red herring. So I threw that out, and I'm still thinking Queen Elizabeth coins, British coins, and then I see a $100 bill. Didn't put that together about it being Benjamin at that point. I'm just thinking currency. Okay, value, high value, the Queen. Where does the Queen stash her high value valuables, her jewels, all that was Tower of London, and that was my guess. My other guess though was Buckingham Palace,
Mm.
and if I can just be honest with that, it was Buckingham Palace. I thought, where did the Queen money is spend for time? And I thought it was Buckingham Palace, and unfortunately it wasn't.
It was not. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
hard break,
that's all good. That's how the cookie crumbles.
right? You've been here before. You know how these shows work. There is only one winner. Which is harder, dating a bunch of women, sussing out traitors, or living on a bus with sensory deprivation?
I think the Dane woman aspect wasn't my forte, so I'm probably gonna say that. I definitely feel much more in my comfort zone, and I feel good kind of being a gamer. I really enjoyed the last two opportunities I've had, and yeah, it's my niche. I think I found so.
So
Yeah,
these are
I
more
like the
fun.
trajectory I'm on. Oh, without a doubt, these things I've had the time of my life on. You'll never forget. Like the moments, yeah, they will stay with me forever.
They do seem fun, but how is it living on a bus with sensory deprivation?
Difficult, honestly, really difficult. But you know what? It's kind of it works for the game because
Mm,
there were so many epic spots we went to. I think one of the biggest ones, the two biggest ones, I think were in Salzburg when we were in those Alps, and then in the river in outside of Venice. And you'd have all that deprivation, and you have no other distraction, so you're kind of going stir crazy a little bit. You're just able to chat with everyone and have conversations, and then you get taken out of that into this epic landscape. I think it just made it even more beautiful and more rewarding to like, wow, where are we? And like really enjoy the moment. So it was cool to have that deprivation to then be released into the wild.
and you did have some tension on the bus, with the late
Mhm.
comers, you showing up late. Were you feeling that?
I was feeling a little bit, yeah, but I think what was really nice in this game was it really didn't like I always felt you needed to you need to win, you needed to work with people. You needed to have an
Mhm.
alliance, have a group. It was going to be tough to get to the end without that. But ultimately still it really didn't matter if you were if there was tension, if you felt disliked by anyone, because you always controlled your destiny. That was one thing I loved about this game. You truly always controlled your destiny at every moment. If you were right, if you got closest, there was no version of a vote, a traitor's murder. There was no banishment. You controlled your destiny with everything that you did, and if you got everything right, you were going to win. That was really cool to kind of block out that noise of maybe there's tension here. It didn't matter because you controlled your destiny.
And so you really have this drive to win. Does this mean we're going to see you continue on the shows until you get that win?
The fire is still obviously burning. It's not going to go out. The hunger is there. Um, yeah, I'll say that the hunger is definitely there. If the right opportunity comes up, makes sense. I would love to finally get it done. Yes.
All right. Well, it was so lovely to meet you, Peter. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.